Hi guys, and welcome to the first ever MattiAce cooking video. So, people have been asking me for such a long time about if I can share my cooking with you, and well, today is the day. So I'm gonna do my Swedish Con Carne. It just got that name for some reason, I don't know why. So basically I'm gonna use half of the meat here that is nötfärs made by cow. So I do apologize to all of you from India, for all you Hindus. Cows are not holy here, so we eat them. I will use pepper. I will use some beans. Now this brand of beans is completely new to me. This is the first time I'm using this type of beans. It's in chili sauce. Normally I just have beans in tomato sauce. So this is gonna give a little bit of a new type of flavor, I'm assuming. Crushed tomato, maize or corn, whatever you call it. And obviously we have yellow onions, one of them. I might actually take two. And I have 3 pieces of these garlic slices or pieces or whatever you want to call it. Normally what I do is that I just slice up the onion or the onions for and I put it in the pot and I fry it kind of like so it's like halfway done, and then I put in the meat. I'm gonna use only half of it. This is 1.5 kilo, so I'm gonna use 750 grams basically. And so I fry the meat with the onion. I just want to get a little bit extra frying on the onion first, and then gradually I just put in the other stuff. So let's see how this goes. Now I'm actually gonna, just for the sake of the video, just for the convenience here, I'm gonna clean the pepper first here. So just gonna break this up here, get this stuff out. The pepper here. Actually, I'm gonna do it in the order that in which I'm going to cook it. I'm actually using an oversized knife this time because now I don't know where I put my regular knife. Now, anybody has any tips about how to do any of this better, or also some more ingredients? There are countless of different things you can put into a dish like this, and I can think of like 10-15 things right off the top of my head, and any of your tips is more than welcome. Yeah, this knife is a little oversized, like I said, but it does the job. And the brands of the tomato and the corn or the maize is relatively cheap. I'm trying to stay on a budget. That's actually part of my cooking, is that I want to be able to cook without it being too expensive. Now you open up a lot of more possibilities the more money you spend, of course. I'm trying to make it simple, and I'm trying to keep it relatively cheap. So, sliced up the onion there. Now I'm gonna take some rapsolja, put it in the pot, and then once and then I put, normally I just do this while the pan is hot, but now I'm using the stove as the stand for the camera here, so it's a little bit different. It's just I had a little bit of a problem setting up the camera here. It's a little makeshift doing. So anyway, that's how we started off. Now the next thing is we're gonna have to start frying this, and then I'm gonna take half of the meat, put it in, and I'm gonna freeze the rest of the meat for another day. Turning on the stove, I have to make an extra little twist to get the whole large part of the stove. And as you may or may not know, I don't know if I told you, but this handle broke for me one of these days, and I had a massive, massive food loss, a big accident. I lost a good sized meal when this happened. The entire floor was full of meat, and it wasn't this type of meat, but it was a big meal that was lost that day. Maybe one of these days I'll tell you the story, who knows. Now, I used to always use plastic for stirring in the pot, but I've started to feel like, you know what, the plastic seems like little pieces of plastic are falling off of this, so I'm not using it anymore because I really don't want to eat plastic. Let's just say I heard some horror stories. We'll let this fry a little bit. Then, as I said, I'm going to use up half of the meat. That's roughly it. Half right there. And sometimes I prepare it in a different way, where I crush the garlic in a different way, like I crush it in earlier into the meat, but I'm not going to do it this time for the sake of simplicity. So, just letting this fry here for a while. Or slice up the pepper here while waiting. Could actually have 2 onions, but there we go, in with the meat. Now some of you guys might be surprised over how clean and tidy my kitchen is. And my kitchen is always clean and tidy. I would never have a unclean kitchen. As a matter of fact, it's much more dirty now than normally, I promise. Yeah, I promise. Oh, that's the problem. See how bad it is. I have to get myself a new cooking pan, I realize. That could end up much worse. Yeah, I need to buy myself a new pot for the next cooking video. Assuming you want to see more, that is. Stirring in the pot. As a matter of fact, it's just in the beginning of cooking this that you need to actually be very active. After a while, you can just put everything into the pot and just leave it on low heat, and it basically cooks itself. Now, I do have a little bit of different seasoning. I have this one, probably the most boring spice ever. It's like a mixture of this and that. I've got some black pepper, regular black pepper. I've got chili flakes, pretty hot. One of the most important ingredients in all of my cooking, almost, is garlic. I love garlic. This is my thing. So let me show you. I'm going to use a smaller knife for this. Whoops, it almost escaped. So I cut this piece off, and then I peel off the garlic skin or whatever, this dry, hard part of it. Now, people handle garlic differently in different countries. This is how I do it. Put it in one of these little things, whatever you want to call it. Vitlökspress, garlic squeezer, I guess. and I just do this. And there's a little bit of it that gets stuck. Just scrape it off with a knife. And I do this times 3. And into the pot it goes. There we go. 3 slices of garlic. There's a little bit left in the squeezer here, in the press. And there we go. Yeah. The thing with garlic is that if you eat garlic, you gotta make sure that everyone you're hanging out with for the next, I don't know, for the next day or so, or night or so, you gotta make sure they also eat it, because otherwise it can be a little uncomfortable. Now, next you want to be sure that the meat is actually properly fried. Once you're satisfied with it being fried properly, like this, what I do is I put in the tomato sauce. I actually wait with the pepper to the last. It's all a matter of personal preference with the pepper. I want it to be a little crunchy when I eat it, so I wait until the very last with the pepper. This is like 500 grams, half a liter. Anna. Now, what I haven't shown you yet is my substitute for rice. Normally, a lot of people, a lot of cultures, you would eat rice with this. Me, I don't really do that, and I use something called bulgur. I've been experimenting with couscous as well, and lentils and stuff. What I use now is bulgur, but I'm putting that in later. Now, what I do is that instead of cooking this on the side, I actually pour it straight into the pot. But that's the last part of it. That's even after the pepper. And then I let it boil with the limpet con carne. However, that requires quite a lot more of water into the pot. So we're gonna use this one to get the last of the tomato sauce out and get more water in. First, however, and try these chili beans. Hope I'm not making a mistake with this one. That's the first time I use these. It doesn't smell like chili. Does chili smell? Using 3 cans. And if you use different kind of beans, if you don't have beans with tomato sauce, you're gonna have to add a little bit extra tomato flavor. Well, if that's what you want, maybe an extra can of this or an extra bag of this. What I do now, I want to get all of this out of the cans. Every little bean, all the juice. I want to get it all out. Water. Like that. I'm gonna put quite a lot of chili flakes. Now if you open it that big, this big, you're gonna have to be a little careful pouring it. This is quite hot. I'm gonna put some more of this spice in here also. I haven't added any salt yet. And this is just the beginning. I'm assuming I'm gonna put in some more spices eventually. But for now, I'll stick with this. This is the stage of the cooking where you can just decide if you just want to leave it on the stove on low heat for like 20 more minutes or 30 more minutes and just let it cook, or if you're kind of satisfied with how it is and you're basically done now. Now, of course, I haven't put in either the corn, the maize, or the pepper yet, so it's because I want to let it cook a little longer. As you can see now, it's very stewy, it's very almost soupy, but it's gonna get very a lot more firm once I put the bulgur in. So I'm actually gonna need to put, I think, a little bit more water in it, but I'm just gonna let it just cook a little bit longer. I'm gonna start tasting it to see if the seasoning is properly done, which it probably isn't yet. I'm gonna probably have to add a little bit more salt and maybe some more spices, who knows. Now the maize or the corn needs a spice can opener like this. I have to pour this into the mix right away because otherwise I'm gonna eat this right off the can. I can't resist this. I love corn, it's so good. And then in with the pepper into the mix. And then just keep stirring it. I understand that some people would want to put in the pepper earlier to make it softer and to make it add more flavor to the whole mix. Yeah, like I said, I like the crunchiness in the pepper. It's not going to be that much crunchiness anyway, but you know, a little bit, just a little bit. And I kind of like that. Now, it's not wet enough, it's not enough water, because what's going to happen is that it's going to be very solid once I put the bulgur in. And you could probably do that with rice also. You could probably just put rice straight into it. I know basically nobody does that, but that's what it's like to be lazy. Just like with the frying the onion with the meat, it's like you can do that separately, because some people want to fry the onion a little bit more and fry the meat a bit more, and then you want to have different pans for that. Some people do, but that means there's more pans to wash, and I'm lazy, so I don't want to do it. I want to stick to this one pan. That's part of this whole cooking experience. Just one pan, one pot, I should say, which, as you can see, is worn out. What I have to save. I hope I get enough views on this video so it pays for a new pot. Who knows? It would be great, wouldn't it? So that's about it for now. That's more like it. Now this to me would be too watery or too loose. If you cook the bulgur or the rice on the side, I don't want it this watery. But when you put the bulgur in, or whatever you put in, it's gonna soak up the water and it's gonna make it a lot more solid. But now I'm gonna put this lid on and just wait. So now it's been cooking for a little while, and it's time to pour in the bulgur. And I only have two hands. So take the bulgur, Pour in a good amount. No idea how much. And then you gotta stir it. I'll stir it for quite a bit actually. Oh, so I'm going to stir it for quite a bit. And hopefully in a few minutes this is going to be done. So it's now time to try this out. I turned the stove off about 5 minutes prior to recording this. And let me see if I can pour me a little bit of this limpet con carne with, I have a better spoon, but I'm gonna use this because I don't wanna fiddle around with it during the recordings here. So as you probably know, the bulgur is in here already. I don't cook it on the side. And yeah, this is what the finished result looks like. So if you have any suggestions, if you have any tips, if there's something you think I should have done differently, if there's something I should have added into the mix, something you think I should try, let me know. I'm open for suggestions. So thank you all for watching.